Is Hieronymous feeling better? Daniel asks me the next week. The first flowers of spring were finally starting to bloom, and the cold winter air was replaced by a warm, light breeze. I needed to talk to him about something, but since he wasn't in class, I didn't want to bother him. He's on the mend, I reply with a shrug. He'll be back in class on Monday. What did you want to see him about? Is this about going home? Daniel just shrugs uncomfortably. Sort of. You can tell me, I offer. Does this have anything to do with the favor you asked me about before? Daniel literally squirms with his hands in his lap. Sort of. Are you okay? I ask him, but Daniel doesn't reply right away. Okay, now you're starting to scare me a little bit. You're acting like something is really, really wrong. Not wrong, Daniel says, deliberately drawing out the last word. I have a situation of sorts, and I don't know what to do about it. I thought I could handle it on my own, but it's starting to get worse, and I'm worried about where it's going to end. I only have a few weeks left, and I don't know what could happen. Start from the beginning, I say slowly. Tell me what happened. Pastel's mother visited us when I was younger, Daniel explains. I'm sure by now you know what services she provides, and she brought Pastel with her. We played together a few times, but I was only 4 or 5 at the time. I recognized her immediately when I saw her, but I didn't think she recognized me until she came up to me after winter break, calling me Beige and telling me she wanted me to be her Prince Charming. He rolls his eyes as he continues. At first it was just small stuff, like getting her coffee and going with her to the mall and watching her try on clothes and telling her she looked pretty. Then she started asking me to buy her jewelry and stuff. She told me she was just trying to make her ex jealous, but now she wants me to be intimate with her, and I don't really want to. She told me before that I had to do whatever she said, or she'd tell my secret to the entire school, but I didn't think she'd take it that far. I stare him down. Where is Pastel now? I don't know, Daniel replies. She spends a lot of time on the trails. Why? What are you going to do? We are going to confront her about it, I say immediately as I get to my feet. I wish you would come to us about this sooner. What she's doing is not right, Daniel. You should never have to tolerate that from anyone. I don't care if it's because of your title. No one deserves to feel like she's making you feel. Do you understand? Daniel just shrugs uncomfortably. I don't know. It sounds stupid. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but I'm worried my parents will be upset if they found out that I couldn't keep my secret for even a full year. Let's get to the bottom of this, I say as I pull him to his feet, and together we head to the trails, scoping out all the secret spots where students usually like to either meditate or study in private. Finally, we find Pastel lying in a large grassy patch, braiding daisies together. Why, hello there, she calls to us as we head over to her. Would you like to braid daisies with me? It's quite fun. What are you doing? I snap at her. Why are you tormenting Beige? He hasn't done anything to you. I was just having fun, Pastel says as she smiles at me. Surely you know what it's like to have fun, don't you, Tori? I have no idea what she means or what she's trying to insinuate, but it makes me distinctly uncomfortable. Still, I stand my ground. However you meant it, he doesn't like it and he wants you to stop. Pastel just giggles into the back of her hand. No. No, I repeat. That wasn't a question. Ooh, what about a trade? Pastel says as she drops her voice to a whisper so that only I can hear her. Beige for your husband? I've heard rumors that... I don't know what rumors she heard, but I already know that I don't want to hear them. I know a lot of magical couples like to experiment, but we're not like that, I tell her. Leave Beige alone. And I'd say leave Hieronymous alone, but I don't think I need to warn you that you'd probably be expelled if you ever propositioned Hieronymous like that. Pastel just shrugs. You all just need to have a little fun, she replies. She reaches out to do a spell, but I direct it straight into the ground. I had already been warned by countless others that Pastel often liked to use affection spells to try to make her victims more amenable to what she wanted. I wasn't about to let her use that on me or Daniel. You're no fun, she pouts, crossing her arms over her chest like a little kid. I just want to have some fun with Beige. Is that so wrong? It's wrong when Beige doesn't want to, I remind her. I don't hear Beige saying that, she insists. I don't want to, Daniel speaks up from behind me. Please don't tell anyone my secret. What do I have to do for you to keep my secret and for you to leave me alone? Pastel appears to be deep in thought. I can't think of anything, she offers before she suddenly seems to change her mind. Oh, I know. Tell your parents something nice about me. Tell them that I was the one who helped you get elected to class president and I made you popular and you owe me everything. But we already talked about that and I never even mentioned you, Daniel says. They'll know it's a lie. Plus, it's a lie, I remind her. Don't get Daniel's parents involved in this. Seriously, Pastel, leave Daniel alone before I make you leave him alone. Are you bothering her? I turn to see a flash of blue hair approaching us through the trees, and I roll my eyes as I see Keo literally storming up to us, his hands clenched into fists at his sides. Stay out of this, Keo, I tell him. This doesn't concern you. You're picking a fight with my girlfriend, he tells me. That concerns me. Your girlfriend? I ask blankly. If that's true, then why is she propositioning Daniel? We all look towards Pastel, who just picks up her hands and shrugs. I don't know what she's talking about. I make a small noise of disgust in the back of my throat as I shake my head. If that's the way you want to play it, fine, but I'm serious. If you don't want any trouble, leave Daniel alone. That little pipsqueak? Keo asks with a huff as he folds his arms over his chest. What's that weak little freshman going to do anyway, huh? He uses push magic on Daniel, who falls to his knees. Hey! I cast a spell at Keo, causing him to lose his balance and fall to the ground. He casts another spell at me, and it quickly evolves into a duel, with us blasting attack spells at one another while we alternate between casting and shielding. Oh, look at everyone fighting over me, Pastel sighs dreamily, and I can't help but roll my eyes. No one is fighting over you, Daniel says as he gets to his feet. Can't we just stop this? Daniel's right. I use push magic to knock both Keo and Pastel to the ground before I quickly use green magic to summon vines around their wrists and ankles, holding them in place. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm de-escalating this right now. No more fighting. Pastel, Keo, I am asking that you leave Daniel alone. All he wants is to be left alone. We only have 1 month of school left. What'd you say? Peace? Fine, Keo grunts, straining against my spell, and I'm glad he seemed ready to give in. It was using up a lot of my mana to hold them both down, and I didn't know how much longer I could restrain them for. Good, I reply simply as I relax my shoulders. Let's get out of here, Daniel. I turn my back, and that's when I sense another spell coming from Keo, heading towards Daniel. I try to throw up a shield to block it in time, but my mana is all tapped out. Instead, I leap in front of him and push him out of the way, the spell hitting me squarely in the back. Tori! Daniel yells as I go tumbling down in the grass. Keo yells and then laughs and jeers as he towers above us, before taking his leave with Pastel. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, I say as I get to my knees and shake my head. I don't know what spell that was, but I'm okay. Tori, you're bleeding. Daniel takes one of my hands and holds it up to reveal a large gash across my palm. Ow, I say as I shake my hand out, looking around for a rock. I don't see where I could have cut it, but... Suddenly I flinch as I feel another cut on my forearm, revealing a long, angry gash. Daniel? I let out a yelp of surprise as another cut suddenly appears across my cheek, and I recoil as I've just been slapped. Daniel, I don't know what's going on. Get Hieronymous. Go. I can't leave you, Daniel says as he kneels down beside me, his hand shaking. I need you to get someone. Get Potsdam. Get... My body is starting to come alive with paper cuts, scratching me this way and that. I fall down onto my back as I can feel the cuts spreading down my legs, along my midriff, and even on the bottoms of my feet. Daniel, I croak, but suddenly it feels like fire, even inside my body, inside my lungs, and I wonder if the cuts were appearing inside my body too. The skin was the largest organ in the human body. Was it possible that the spell had started there first and then was working its way inside of me? I closed my eyes as I tried to ride out the pain. Hieronymous would be here soon to heal me. Or Potsdam. Or someone. I just had to hold on a little longer. The pain is starting to subside, but I feel myself slipping backwards into darkness. I recognize this feeling. Was I dying? No, that couldn't be right. I couldn't be dying. I was attacked, sure, and bleeding, but I would overcome this. There's no way that I had gone through everything that I had with Damien just for Keo to come out of nowhere and kill me with one stray curse. No, there's no way that could happen. At least it would have made sense if I died after dueling Damien. That had been a back and forth struggle to reclaim my memories that had lasted months, and he had set out with the intention of making my death as painful as possible. But I couldn't die now. There was no reason for it. I woke up this morning without any indication that I was going to get into any sort of trouble today. If I hadn't talked to Daniel and had just gone to the library to study, this would have just been another ordinary day. I was worried about Hieronymous getting better from his allergies. He shouldn't have to be the one worried about saving me right now. But, like it or not, I couldn't stop what was happening to me right now. In the back of my mind, I think about Musette. Was she scared when she got expelled? Was she worried that it would lead to her untimely death? She was just a freshman girl trying to preserve what little bit of herself she had to offer the world, and in the end, that act of self-preservation might have been what led to her demise after all. But there would be no such hope for me. I didn't store a bit of my soul in a tape recorder. If I died, what would happen to me? Would I become a ghost, set to haunt Iris Academy's halls until someone sent me to the other world? Or would I just cease to exist? Would there be an after that my soul would be sent to? And what about Hieronymous? Who would look after him? He already said the last time I almost died that he couldn't stay and teach at Iris Academy if a girl he was supposed to be protecting had died. He was already preparing to leave if interviewing other teachers for his position was anything to say about it. Would I become just another part of his haunted past? I had been sad and lonely lately, but I didn't want to die. I wanted to grow up. I wanted to have more vacations with Hieronymous. I wanted to explore new places and meet new people and make new friends. I wanted to explore the other world and grow my magic and use it to help people, even if I hadn't decided exactly how I wanted to do that yet. Hieronymous had once said that I had so much potential, and it wouldn't be fair for someone who had so much to offer to have their life cut short because of one student's angry temper. But life wasn't fair, and that wasn't a lesson that the dead could learn from. Only the living could learn that lesson, mourn those lost along the way, and then move on.